What up, everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here today. Sacramento Kings talk. I know I don't do a lot of it on here, but when something happens, I'm here. Sacramento Kings fan, lifelong. I don't really know what made me gravitate towards the Kings when I started watching basketball. But my guess was today when I was talking about this was I became a Sacramento Kings fan roughly around the age of 8. So 32 years on this earth I've spent loving the Sacramento Kings. Easy. When I lived in Atlanta, I followed the Kings, but because you're on Eastern time and the Kings play Pacific time, I didn't follow them as close as I could. But I was a diehard telling everybody that Mitch Richmond was going to take this team to the promised land, and we were going to build something. Honestly, at one point when we drafted Bobby Hurley, I thought that was going to spring us into the playoffs. Maybe if Bobby Hurley doesn't get hit in that car crash leaving the Sacramento Kings game back in the Arco Arena days, maybe that's it. I mean, Bobby Hurley was a really special college player, won at Duke. I really thought he was going to win here. But today might be one of the darkest days of me as a Sacramento Kings fan. The last couple of years has been really hard. I know a lot of people are going to pick the day that, the Sacramento Kings drafted Marvin Bagley from Duke. I get it. I understand. You go back, you probably look at my tweets and say that I was rooting for them to pick them. Now you go back, it's very easy to look at it and just be like, what the hell were we thinking? Leaving 2 all-pro shooters on the board and taking Bagley. But Bagley looked like he was going to be, I would refer to him as worst case scenario. I thought he was going to be a Shane Battier type of player that, was just not going to kill numbers on a sheet, but was going to become a really good player in the league. And, due to injuries, we just never got a chance to see it here in Sacramento. I guess we got one more year of this, and NBA means, you're on your last year of your contract. They're not going to, give you a chance to make any money. They're going to sit you. So it's another year just like sitting on the bench. And I mean, the games that we've had to play Bagley, we've seen that he has some skills. He comes in, he does what he has to do, but just not happy here. So, there's still 2 days on this trade deadline. Maybe it could happen. But I knew a move was coming. I just didn't know this was the move. I mean, we've heard, Harrison Barnes is up for trades. Maybe De'Aaron Fox is up for trades, but it's got to be something really, really big. Haliburton has been in the news, but he's been so hot lately, you thought no way in the world they were going to let a guy they just drafted go. And Buddy Hield, damn good player. Nothing wrong with Buddy Hield. If he would have lived his whole career here in Sacramento, he could have been a Mitch Richmond-like player. Mitch Richmond's still one of my favorite guys to ever play basketball because I watched him so much. I had to make my own custom Mitch Richmond baby blue jersey because I just couldn't find one anywhere out there in the wild. I mean, that's my guy. Always has been, always will be. But we made a trade with Indiana. We get Sabonis. We get another, big guy down low. Doesn't really fit into the league's, way of winning anymore. You got to have big guys, that get points. But it's a shooter's league right now. You don't really play down in the paint. It's the reason why this guy is available to trade and why they took guards for him. Because Indiana's realized this ain't gonna work. We gotta change. Maybe somebody will come into the league. We all thought it was gonna be Zion that they re-transformed to getting the ball in the paint. It's not gonna happen. I mean, I don't understand. Buddy Hield, I understand. This guy had to go. But Buddy Hield and Haliburton, it's just, you just don't give up on draft picks that fast. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, as a Sacramento Kings fan, the only thing I'm saying is, you know, I apologize, but what the fuck's going on? Like, what are we doing? What's the plan here? Like, I love it because they're just trying to make a sale. They don't work in the GM spot, but I get a call roughly once a month from the Sacramento Kings. I don't know where they got my number from. I don't know if Ticketmaster gave it to them for me buying tickets to go to the Kings games, but for some reason, somebody in the ticketing department thinks that I want to buy season tickets or some sort of a ticket plan. They get my name put on their desk. They ring me up. I bug them like I'm talking to the GM. I'm like, you want me to buy a ticket plan? I won't even buy a ticket plan for like 8 games. I go to a game, I make sure it's like the cheapest game, the cheapest seats. Like, I ain't giving you nothing. I mean, I go there, I know that I'm gonna have fun, you know, kind of regardless, win, lose, or draw. But you want to get my money, man. Like, this shit ain't working. It wasn't working before. I don't know what we're doing now. I mean, you know, it was always like, you know, where does Buddy Hield fit on this team? Is he gonna start? Is he gonna come off the bench? He's gonna be like our 6th guy. And now we're just shipping him to Indiana. The last time we sort of blew stuff up is when we made that trade with Indiana. I want to guess it was like 05. That's when we did the Peja trade for Ron Artest. We ended up, we weren't a playoff team when we made that trade. Ron Artest sort of put that team on his back. There was a lot of other supporting guys on that team, but he said that, you know, we were going to be a playoff team, and he lived up to it. He showed that he wanted to be the leader of this team. The rest of the years in Sacramento, it didn't go as well. That was the last time we ever made the playoffs. But, you know, Peja was near the end of his career. Of course, he put miles on that body playing over in Europe before he even came to the Kings. I want to say his first year in the league was 01. But he didn't last much longer. He might have played 2 years for Indiana. And then I think he survived 1 more year just chucking up threes for Dallas. And I think that was the end. A lot of times when Kings made moves back in the day, when they blew up that 02 team, other than Mike Bibby, like, guys were out of the league within a year, 2 years max, once they left Sacramento. So it was like, we got rid of them at the right time. We just didn't get the pieces back to, like, rebuild that team at all. So I don't know. I mean, my good buddy Troy, he used to talk about him in a lot of videos because we used to live together and watch a lot of the games together. He just texted me flat out, like, he's done. Like, he wants out. I can see him lighting a Kings jersey on fire or something like that today. But I don't get it. I got to keep rooting for this team. But it's almost like 10 years ago, in 2013, I'm pretty sure that was the year, we almost lost this team to Seattle. And at this point, it's like they might as well have left. Like, we haven't done anything in that time. 20 years ago, roughly, we were the best team in the NBA. I think we won 61 games that year. Of course, you know, everybody knows what happened with us in the playoffs against the Lakers that year. But 20 years ago, it doesn't even feel like it's that long ago until you put that title on it. And you're like, 20 years? Like, you had a baby born during that season, man. They can almost buy alcohol. Like, yeah, that's nuts. I never thought we would be on the drought that we're on now. And we've had some bad years. I don't really know how you blame ownership. You can definitely blame Vlade. We all know about that horrible trade that we made with Philly that backfired on us 3 years in a row, having to swap our draft picks. But I don't know. This doesn't really, in my mind, put us in a position to win games now. It doesn't really put us in a position to build towards winning later. It's almost like giving up. We get to keep our peace. And just, I don't know what we're doing. That's easily the best way to put it. I don't know what to do as a Kings fan because I don't know what we're doing anymore.